Okay, I think that's pretty much everyone. We have quite a significant number of participants in today's webinar. So thank you, everyone, for finding the time on a Friday evening, no less, to be a part of our webinar. And I'm Paolo from Campus France. And as part of the Let's Study in France webinar series that we organize to promote select programs in France that are taught in English. We have with us today Madame Ana Rodriguez Rivas from the ESMA School of 3D Animation. So, just a few pointers before we start, and I give the floor to our friend Anna from France. Please send any questions that you might have by way of the chat. You can send them directly to myself or to Anna, and we will tackle them during the Q&A portion. So, Anna, without further ado, floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. So, welcome everyone. So my name is Anna and I'm from ESMA Lyon. I'm in charge of all the interview for the people who wants to apply to the CG animation program. I'm from Spain, so I have a big accent in English. If there is something that you don't understand, you can ask me to repeat. I can do that. Okay. So today I'm going to introduce you what we do in our CG animation program. So I'm going to share my screen with you. So we are the fourth best school in France. And I don't know if you know the Rookies. The Rookies is like a website, like a festival website where all the 3D animation school put all the 3D animation projects. So we were choose like the best 3D animation school in production of 3D animation movies. So we are very well known in the 3D animation industry. And there is a lot of international people that come from all over the world to France to study every year. Here in Lyon, we have more than 50 nationalities from 50 different countries, and we have more than 150 students. We have some students from Filipinas, so if you want to speak with them, I can send you their email address. They can be in contact with you if you have any question about the school, the teachers, and everything. Okay. So we have 3 international campuses. We have Lyon, Montpellier, and Bordeaux. The program is the same in the 3 campuses. So if you want to apply, you can just choose the city that you prefer, and you can apply straight to the campus that suits you better. Okay. So the program takes 5 years to complete. The first year is the preparatory year. So this year is the objective is to become very, very good in traditional drawing. So we will do volume, perspective, anatomy, observational drawing. So we are going to try all the different techniques, gouache, oil color, oil painting, watercolor, all the different techniques that you can imagine. And the objective is to understand reality, understand the textures, the lights, the color, and all the different things that we see in reality, and to be able to do very realistic drawings. Once the students know how to do that in traditional, they will be able to do it in digital. Okay, so we are going to understand the perspective, the anatomy, movement of the body, and after that we will do animation. So the preparatory year is 100% in traditional, and they also have French classes because it's a group of international people, so they don't speak any French, and then we have 4 hours of French every week. After the preparatory year, I'm going to show you some examples of what we do every year. We have the second and the third year. And during these years, students, they become generalists in 3D. So we mix the traditional drawing with all the software's works. So we are going to discover the lighting in 3D. The lighting is the color and the texturing. We are going to discover the animation, so the movement of the characters, the visual effects for the explosions, the fire, the water, all of that. We are going to discover also the compositing. So the compositing, he will be a person who is going to put together all the job that all the other people did. So once the lighter did his job, the animator, he did his job, the compositor is going to put everything together, okay? And we will also do rigging. Rigging, it will be for the movement of the body. So people, they have to, they can move because of the bones and the muscles. So the rigger is going to put bones and muscles to all the characters that we see in a 3D animation movie. And the animator, he will be able to animate this character because of this rigger job, okay? After the third year, students they are going to pick a specialty, and they will focus in their specialty. So we can say that the last year is the master degree. Okay, so at the end of the program, at the end of the 5 years, is a master degree level, and they already go straight to work. They don't have to do any other complementary program because it's a very, very intense and a very complete program. Okay, and the diploma is recognized by the French education system. Okay. So as I say, preparatory year is 100% traditional. So 1 year where we learn all the fundamentals in drawing. We have also some workshop of photography to understand the shadows and the lights. There is some trips that we organize during the prepa to make people discover the country. So we go to Paris, to other cities in France, and we can also go to some cities in Spain. So for example, Barcelona. At the end of the year, the students, they have to prepare a portfolio. So they have to put together all the drawings that they did during the year. And I'm going to show you some examples. So this is an color drawing. They used acrylic and also some pencils. And the objective is to work in 3D, so in volume, in perspective, in textures. So we have to be able to do a very realistic thing, okay? So the big part of the students, they don't know how to draw when they apply to preparatory year. So don't be scared about the level because the big part of the students, they don't know how to draw. They discover everything during the preparatory year. So this is the color exercise. We also have some other color exercise, like for example, this one. More paintings. We also have a perspective. So the good thing is that every time we have the technical side of the project where we have to, it's less funny. Here, for example, they have to understand how to draw a temple, and then the background, they are free to do whatever they want. So there is like a artistic side of the project where the students, they can show their personality, but there is always the technical side. Here there is some perspective in observational drawing and anatomy movement drawing to be able to understand all the movement of the characters. Okay. This is another, I'm sorry, the quality is not very good with this one, but it's another observational drawing. So as you can see, we see like a really 3D drawing. There is a volume, there is some light. So the objective is to reach to this level. After the preparatory year, the students, they already know how to draw. So now we are going to discover all the 3D animation softwares. So we are going to work with Maya, Blender, Houdini, Nuke, Photoshop. So a lot of different softwares, and we are going to start from the very beginning. So if you never work on a computer, don't worry, because we will teach you how to do it from the very beginning. So during the second year, we are going to keep illustration and drawing because they make part of the pre-production part of a 3D animation movie. We will always start doing a drawing, a sketch, storyboard. So we will always work in traditional at the beginning, okay? With all of that, we are going to start doing modeling. I'm going to show you what modeling is, and we are going to discover the lighting and the texture. At the same time, we keep French classes because you live in you will live in France, so it's important to speak some French. And at the end of the year, they will be able to do a whole image, a complete image in 3D and digital, and it has to look like a picture taken by a camera. Okay. So in animation, we are going to do this kind of exercises. So it's really the fundamentals, but to be able to do more impressive things, we have to start with this little exercise. Then at the end of the second year, they will be able to animate a whole body. So maybe you don't know it now, but to reach to this level is very difficult. So during 1 year, they do some exercises to be able to animate a whole body. In lighting and in modeling, we are going to do this kind of projects. So the project that you can see on your left is a modeling project. So on the software, we are going to model every single thing that you can see in this picture. And then we are going to do the lighting. So we are going to put the color, the textures, and on the shadows, or the lights. Okay. So we are going to do things like this that they look really realistic. At the end of the year, they have to create a whole image in 3D, like for example this one. So they have to do the traditional image. This one is acrylic, an acrylic painting. So this person, the students pick Barbie. So she did like traditional drawing, and then she did the modeling and the lighting project. So at the end, it has to look like a real picture. And as you can see, there is a big work of lighting, texturings, and everything. Okay. Then, sorry. Then we go to the third year. So we are going to continue discovering other techniques as visual effects and rigging. And we are going to keep concept art, so character design, storyboard, drawing, and all of that. So we are going to do some compositing. Here you can see a mix between traditional and digital drawing. We are going to do things like this. They will also do more animation. And as you can see, there are more ambitious projects, ambitious exercises, like this one. And this is a lighting project. So they have to create from the beginning to the end an animal or an insect. So they have to do the modeling of the body of this insect. And then they have to put color and lighting. So as you can see, it has to look like a real picture, but everything is fake. Everything is done on a computer. During the fourth year, students, they are going to choose a specialty. So they have 5 specialties: rigging, lighting, visual effects, compositing, and 3D animation. So they will be able to pick 2 of them. And we also propose another subjects. They can choose the one they prefer. So we propose a storyboard or a script, because our students, they also write the script of their movies. And we also propose concept art for people who really like drawing, creating characters, and all of that. Facial rigging for the movement of the face. And we also have sculpting in 3D and visual effects from the character. So I don't know if you watch the movie Frozen or Encanto. All the visual effects that go from the character, like for example, the hair and the dresses and all the fantastic things that we see in the character, there are some specific visual effects. They are not the same, like explosions and fire and all of that. So at the end of this year, students, they have to create the first project in group. So they have to work in a project that is called Zapping. And it's a 30 seconds movie, so 30-second video they have to do everything from the beginning to the end. So they have to write the script, they have to create the characters, storyboard, and then they have to do the production. So they have 12 weeks to do 30 seconds. So it looks a lot of time, but it's not really that so much time. They work in a group of 7 people, and it takes 6 weeks to do the pre-production and 6 weeks to do the production. So here we have an example. I'm going to show you. I forgot to say it, but during the last 2 years, we mix French people and international people. So that means that everyone speaks French, English during the last 2 years. Even if they are French, they have to speak English, and all the classes are in English. So international people, they follow the program during the 5 years in English, but French people, they do 3 years in French and 2 years in English and with international people. So this project is fully in English. In here, they were 7 students, 6 students, I'm sorry. And the good thing is that all of them know how to work in the first steps of the production of a movie. And then every of them is going to focus in their specialty. So, for example, the first one, he did rigging and animation. Another one did the lighting. Another one did all the concept art and the texturing. So everyone is generalist, but they are also very, they have their specializations. So they will be able to focus in one step of the movie. So at the end of the program, during the 5th year, all the students work in an open space that we have in the campus. So all the people work in the same room, and they are in a studio of 3D animation movies, and they work in a big project. They have to be able to create a 6-minute movie in 3D from the beginning to the end. So the same, they will write a script, and they will do everything from the beginning to the end. So at the end of this year, it's a very, very long year. They don't have a lot of holidays because they have to work in a very, very difficult project. So at the end of the year, there is like a graduation party, and we do a projection of all the ESMA movies, and we invite more than 30 studios, French studios, and also international studios from USA, from Canada, from UK. And like that, studios, they can already meet our students. They can know how good they are in their job, and they can do a job meeting with these studios, so they can already share a CV and ask for a job. So this is a very, very important day for them, because it's like the end of the program, and they already can see a project that they did in a big screen. So yes, in ESMA, we give the opportunity to the students to become whatever they want to become in 3D animation sector. So from the script to the compositing. So this is all the different possibilities that they are in 3D. There is a lot of different specialities. So that's why we propose the first 2-3 years to become generalists, to understand the tasks, the different things in 3D, and then the last 2 years to really focus in 2 or 3 of them. So yes, as I said, the rigger is the person who is going to control all the elements that the animator is going to use to animate a character. And this is a really technical specialty. Okay, it's not very artistical, it's more technical. So if you really like working on computer and all of that. It will be like this kind of technique that you will choose. 3D animator is going to animate the character. So 3D animator, they have to have a sense of movement very, very good, because like the movement of the body has to be very realistic. So they have to study like the size and the and all the condition of the character to make them look very, very realistic. The visual effect artist is going to do a simulation of fire, smoke, wind, water, and all of that. It's make them look, again, very realistic. So the best CG animation project, it will be as a project that looks really, really realistic. And the lighting is going to create, again, the realism of the movie. So the color, the textures, and the shadows and the lights. The compositor, so he will put together all the different elements that all the people did. So he's going to create the image, like the final image at the end. So I can, sorry, there is somebody who wanted that. Okay, so here there are some example of where our students work. So some of them, they work in big studios and very big productions of movies. I don't know if you know Arcane. It's like a Netflix series. And there's a lot of ESMA students that work for Arcane. Also for Illumination, is a studio that create Minions. So very big companies that they are coming to France, because in France we have very good 3D animation schools. We are not the only, there is more 3D animation schools. But yes, French people, they're very good with 3D. So there is a lot of international people that come to this country to study in this school and to have big opportunities to work in big studios. So there is some studios we work with. So our students, they finish working in these studios. Some of them, they stay in France, and some others, they go to New Zealand, USA, to a lot of different countries. But yes, some of them, they stay in France. So as I said, we have 3 campuses in France. I work in Lyon campus, but it's the same program in the 3 campuses. Okay. And Bordeaux, you have here some information. I will send you by email if you want more information about every city. But the 3 cities are really big cities, student cities. So that's the good thing, that there is always a lot of things to do, a lot of cultural things. You will not get bored. Okay, there is a lot of activities. And the good thing, also for international people, we have dorms, student dormitories in every campus. So it's so much easier for you to come to a country that you don't know, you don't speak the language. So it's so much easier to come and to know that you already know where are you going to live. So we propose international students to have a room in our campuses. I can also send you the link by email. So there are like small rooms with everything, with bathroom and with kitchen. And they are just in top of the school. So they are like 1 minute from the school. Also, in Lyon, we have a lot of international students. So we organize several activities to make them feel like at home. So I'm for example, I'm from Spain, and I used to live in France, and I live in France now also. But I reached France when I was very young, and when you are very scared, you don't speak the language, so it's always difficult to give this step, but it's also very exciting. So we propose some activities. For example, before the beginning of classes, we do a tour of the city with all the international students. And we also invite people from the 2nd, the 3rd year students. Like that, they are able to speak with them and to explain them how everything is going to be, how cool is the city, how cool is life in ESMA. And we also do international party during the first week of classes. Like that, they can already meet all the teachers, all the team administration team, and they can spend the first moment together. So it's very important for us to make them feel at home, like at home. And we also created a Discord group. I don't know if you work with Discord, but it's like a chat where you can ask questions to our students about the city, about the classes, the teachers, and everything. So if some of you guys you want to do 3D animation in your future, I will explain you a little bit how to do it. So it's very easy, very quickly. You only have to go to our website, and you have to apply for our school. And you will have to join some documents. So the passport, the school transcripts. If you are doing the 12th grade, you can put the high school transcript. If you already obtained your high school diploma, you can. It's better if you put the high school diploma. We will also ask for a picture and for a document that is called enigmatic. It's a document that is going to compare your high school diploma to French education diploma, because we need to be sure that you have the same diploma as here in France in order to obtain the master degree after the end of the program. Okay. Once your file is complete, we will do the interview. The interview will be in English. It's an online meeting, of course. And if you want to apply for the preparatory year, we are asking for a portfolio for an interview. I'm sorry. For the preparatory year, you don't need a portfolio because most part of people they don't know how to draw, so don't worry about it. If you already draw a little bit, you can send us some pictures, some storyboards, some sketches, some paintings. Like that, we can get to know you a little bit more and know your personality, if you are really motivated. So yes, no portfolio needed for the preparatory year. But if you want to go to the second year of the program, we will ask you for a big portfolio that has to include perspective, color, and anatomy. That's the most important thing if you want to apply for the second. Okay. They are like, don't stress because of the meeting, because it's just a conversation. There is not pressure. We only want to know you a little bit more. And also we want to know if you are really motivated, because I'm not going to lie, it's a very intense program. It's 5 years. There is a lot of work. Every year there is a lot of different projects. And maybe you are going to work in 5 different projects at the same time. So we need students that are very, very motivated and very focused in their job. So during the meeting, we are only ask you some questions about your motivation, about your personality, and also we would like to see that you already know our school. So we recommend you to take a look to our 3D animation movies in YouTube. They are all there, and like that you can see how good our students they are in what they do. So I recommend you to take a look. And after the meeting, we are going to tell you if you are accepted or not in the 24 hours after the meeting. So don't worry, we are not going to make you wait for a lot of time. And after the meeting, you only have to secure your spot. So the only thing that you have to pay after the meeting is the 700 euros to keep your seat for the September entry. So the beginning of classes, it will be in September. So we recommend you to apply before March. Like that, you have the time to do all the visa procedure and all the different paperwork, find for an apartment and all of that. We do some different online meetings with people who are interested in our school. So we do two every month. We can also send you the link by email. And there is students that they come to the meeting to speak about their experience, to speak about the school, about the classes, and like that you can also ask them some questions. Okay. Here you have all the different email contacts of all the different campuses. So I work for Lyon campus with my college Rennes. But if you want to go to Bordeaux or to Montpellier, you will only have to send an email to these people. They will send you an email with more information. And if you want also like an individual meeting with you to explain you a little bit more about the program, we can also do it. It's not a problem. I'm going to show you an example of a 3D animation movie. This is a teaser, okay? It's like the trailer of the movie, but you can check all the project in this YouTube channel. I'm going to share with you like that. You have an idea of the level. Okay. I don't know if you have some question. You can check. So I'm here if you want to ask something.
Thank you for that wonderful presentation, Anna. I think I speak on behalf of everyone when I say that it's quite an impressive school, especially since a lot of the alumni work in some very noteworthy institutions. So, for those who weren't able to catch it, some of the people behind Arcane from the studio Fortiche, and you also have people who worked on Illumination projects like Despicable Me and Minions. So that just really shows the quality of the education they have for the 3D animation and FX program. So we have a couple of questions sent by the chat box. Feel free to send any further questions by direct message to myself or Anna. But to get things started, we had a very interesting question. A student asked, "Do you work with different courses or different departments for sound and audio?" So maybe something a bit more about sound effects.
Yes. So our student we have like we work with a studio that do all the voice recording. So our students they go to Montpellier during the 5th year to work in the voice recording of the movies. So we work with them. They don't do it by themselves. During the 4th year, they do the voice recording because here in Lyon and in all the campuses, we have another program that works in traditional movie makers. So sometimes we work together and they are able to do the voice recording together. But during the 5th year, the last year, they go to Montpellier to a big studio. It's called Studio Aviateur. And they do with them all the voice recording and all of that. But they don't do it by themselves. We don't we don't teach them how to do that. Okay. I forgot to mention that during the 5 years they have to complete an internship. It's a 8 weeks internship, and like that, after the program, they already have a good experience working on a studio. So after the 3rd year, when they are already generalist and 3D, and they already know how to do everything, they are able to work in a studio during 8 weeks, and they have to be done during the holidays because they cannot skip classes. We are very strict with lateness and absences because if you miss 4-hour class of animation, you will be a little bit lost the next day. So we are really we put a lot of attention to absences and lateness. So that's why we are looking for very motivated students that really love what they do.
quite a technical and challenging field, 3D animation. So we actually have a question that was asked by three different people, but before we address that, I had a follow-up question about the English requirement. So since the program is taught in English, of course, applicants will have to provide proof of fluency. So, my question is, given that the Philippines is a country that has English as an official language, so that's what we use for 95% of our courses in school, does that mean we still need to provide an IELTS or a TOEFL exam?
Not really. Like if we, as you can see, my English is not perfect. And here in the school, the teachers, they are not big, most part of them, they are not native in English. So we ask for a B2 in English. We don't need to see a official diploma level. If you can speak in English, if you can communicate during the meeting, that's enough for us.
Okay, thank you. I actually think that your English is pretty good as well. So,
I did my best.
we the quite popular question, and I think it's an interesting one as well, is does ESMA have a scholarship or any financial assistance for international students?
Okay. So unfortunately, there is not a lot of like public schools for arts in general and for 3D animation. So we are in a private school. So that means that the price of the school has to be covered 100% for this from the student. We don't really propose scholarships. We propose like a financial help. I don't want to call it a scholarship because sometimes it's a little bit difficult to obtain this help from the school. So it's kind of a scholarship, but I don't want to call it like that because maybe you will have it, maybe you will not have it. So students during the first year, they are able to ask for this help from ESMA. They have to fill like a big document with some documents. So we are going to see if you have brother and sister, how far you live from your country, if you are working and you are studying at the same time. So we are going to put together a lot of information, and people who really have more problems with payments, we will reduce some money from the school payment. So this money can go from 500 euros to 1,300 euros every year. So it's some help. It's always nice to obtain this. But yes, it's not all the students that can obtain this scholarship. It's true that there is a lot of international students that are able to obtain it because they're very far from home, and some they come from some countries where the situation maybe is different to Europe. So there is a lot of international students that wish to obtain this scholarship.
Okay, thank you for the honest answer, Anna. There's actually a follow-up question to this. We're not sure if you'd be aware of any financial aid or scholarships that are offered by perhaps affiliate organizations or third-party institutions that can sort of stack with the financing that students will have to provide for ESMA.
Not really, because like here in France, all the like the institution scholarships, they go to public schools. They don't go really to private schools. Okay, so not really. But for example, here in France, maybe that can help you. Here in France, there is like a help to every student to pay rent, so you can ask for this help. It's called CAF, CAF, and they can give you like every month like 150, 200 euros to pay rent. So when I used to be a student, that was super useful because with that money you can pay food, you can pay transport, you can pay other things. So that's really nice. Also, transport is not very expensive for students. It's like 25 euros every month. It's not that expensive. And yes, there is this help from French government that can be very useful to pay rent. But public scholarship, they go to public schools. They don't really go to private school like ESMA.
Okay. Thank you, Anna. So, if you want more information about um, French government services available for international students, we have those resources on the Campus France Philippines website. And if you would like some information about life in one of the cities where there are the three campuses of ESMA, make sure to follow them on social media, right? And you can be informed of the twice a month webinar that they organize for international students. We
Also,
have, sorry.
I'm sorry. Also in Lyon, we have students from Filipinas. And when I used to be a student in France, I used to love to speak with Spanish people because you always feel better when you speak with people of your same culture and language. So if you want to speak with them, and they are also very happy to speak with future students, so feel free to tell me, and I will send you their email address.
All right. We have one follow-up question. It's quite technical. So, someone asked, what 3D modeling software does the program teach the students? Like, what sort of program should they anticipate if they were to apply for this program?
So we work with very expensive softwares, so you cannot really use them before the coming to ESMA. Maybe you can use Blender. I'm going to write it in the. So Blender is a free software. You can already try it by yourself, but it's really difficult to be able to learn in autodidact. So maybe you can follow some tutorials on YouTube, but maybe don't be frustrated if it's difficult because it's normal. It's really difficult. We also work with Maya, the big part of the time for the modeling. Maya, Nuke for the compositing, and also for grooming. Grooming is like the fur of the animals, the hairs, so all the different hair and fur of animals. So we use Nuke, and we also use Houdini for all the visual effects, the fire, the explosion, and all of that. And that these three are like these four are like the big softwares, but we also work with Photoshop, Illustrator. We also work with ZBrush for some other details. There is like at least 10 different softwares, but like the big softwares, they are Maya, Nuke, Houdini. Yes, that would be that.
Okay, so it's not just 3D, it's really a multidisciplinary program. Everything that the 3D animation pipeline would cover involves
Yes.
a separate application.
Mm.
We don't have any follow-up questions beyond that. So, in the meantime, we're gonna have a few moments to see if there are any last-minute questions. But thank you so much, Anna,
Thank
for finding the time to do this webinar, and a thank you to our students as well. I see that we have quite the impressive turnout at 50 participants. That's a new record for us. So, thank you for your interest in 3D animation. With Anna's consent, I will be sharing her email address with the students, both those who are present today and those who are unable to join, so that if they have any follow-up questions that a recording of this webinar won't be able to address, they can be sent directly to Anna and her team across the different campuses of ESMA. So yeah, no other questions from the students. Anna, would you like to say a few closing words?
Just thank you very much for joining us, and really feel free to send me an email. We are always here to give you more information. We can organize another email, any other meeting to give you more details, more projects. And also, if you want to speak with our students, you can also do it. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Merci beaucoup, everyone, and have an incredible weekend ahead.
Have a
Goodbye.
nice week. Bye bye.